Not everyone knows that these are not just flexibility exercises in recovery of a person's health, but also a deep system of self-improvement. Yoga is not a religion, and it is not sectarianism. Rather, it is a physical method that helps a person to be healthy and live in harmony. Some people do not take yoga very seriously, while others fall in love with it so much that they devote their lives to it, just like our guests that we invited to speak with us in today's program. Hello guys. Hello. What are your names and what are you going to tell us? Anastasia, Sergey, Marina. Dear friends, today we want to tell you about yoga and how to feel comfortable working in an office, how to be in harmony with yourself, how to be healthy, happy and full of energy. Yoga is exactly what helps a person find a synergy between all of their elements, including the body, feelings and mind. This is yoga. In Ukraine, yoga is making progress. While in America true yoga is popular, in Ukraine specialized areas of yoga are being developed. Here we also have high-quality masters, and there are deeper practices that in the end give highly positive results. More and more young people are becoming interested in yoga these days. This is primarily due to their sedentary lifestyle. Many people come to yoga in order to improve the state of their musculoskeletal system and spine condition. Everyone starts with working out their body, and then they gradually realize that there is a philosophy that helps a person find not only physical but also mental comfort. This is a very important element because none of these components can exist without the other. I regret that I didn't start yoga at the age of 25. If I had known earlier about this unique system, which includes not only physical and breathing exercises, relaxation techniques, and helps to improve the back, but also has an impact on the state of mind and makes it possible for a person to be in harmony and stay calm in difficult situations, control your feelings, and to be objective and disciplined in the necessary moments. I would have engaged in it earlier at school. It all started from the back. In my opinion, I was fortunate enough to meet professional teachers that helped me with my back problems that are associated with the mind and reactions that bring our hormonal system into a certain condition. Constant stress results in the production of cortisol that in its return leads to destruction and high-tension processes. When we come to understanding of how a person's minds determine the reactions of their hormonal process, they begin to choose a different model of behavior that leads to a totally different and positive result. For me, yoga is a state of mind when I am able to respond to external factors. When a person finds a link with each element that surrounds them with a living being and with another person, then they are no longer indifferent to other people and nature. I started practicing yoga 6 years ago. It was the moment when I lost touch with myself, when I stopped listening to my heart and did not have a feeling of the beauty of life. That was when I fell into depression and did not know what I should do next. Then I did what I or my soul did not want, but I had to follow some social rules.
Последовала социальным рамкам и каким-то социальным установкам. На тот момент меня просто привели на класс.
At that moment, my friend introduced me to yoga classes. I just put my yoga mat down and started to practice. Practicing yoga exercises returned feelings to my body. I even perceived the world differently.
Это открыло во мне какие-то новые ощущения, новые чувства. Я начала чувствовать себя иначе.
I developed such a deep interest in it that I gradually began to attend my teacher's classes 3 times a week and continued to do what I started doing.
На классы к своему преподавателю, и продолжать делать то, что я делаю. Но в какой-то момент
But at some point, my life turned around. I left everything and went to live in Asia. I truly started practicing yoga at the moment when I faced a choice to continue to be sick and not to feel harmony in myself, or to do something about it to improve my life. I decided to choose a more thoughtful, meaningful way and started working on myself. I started from listening to different harmonious music. Then I tried to find some kind of sport in order to improve my mental and physical health. And I realized that nothing worked except some smooth sports. Suddenly, my father advised me to engage in yoga. I liked it. During my first classes, I felt that there were no longer severe pains in my back, and somehow everything fell into place in my head. And I understood and felt that this was really what I wanted to do. Many people think that Hatha Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga or Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga is all the ultimate essence of yoga. In truth, there are actually 4 paths that lead to a yoga state. One of them is called Bhakti Yoga, that is the path of religious doctrines. Jnana Yoga is the path of a scientist when a person with sufficiently strong intellect is able to see subtleties in relationships between people and between their internal and external processes. Karma Yoga is the yoga of serving. For example, every parent cares selflessly about their children and tries to provide them all the best without getting something in return. Ashtanga Yoga is the path of most yogis in studios. Many people think that Ashtanga is a separate direction. In fact, Ashtanga Yoga includes 8 steps that help a person achieve inner harmony. I started practicing therapeutic yoga because, first of all, I wanted to strengthen my back by improving the condition of my musculoskeletal system. I truly consider yoga to be therapeutic exercises. When practicing yoga, I noticed how my state changed. My tension, irritation and anger disappeared. At first, it was very difficult to attend classes, and sometimes I thought, why did I pay for a yoga subscription? But then, after attending classes, I realized that my body became flexible, my spine became more even, and the feeling in my body became more comfortable. And gradually, I changed therapeutic for Hatha Yoga. Gradually practicing asanas, I balanced my physical condition and intuited spiritual component. I began mastering meditation techniques. In the beginning, I didn't succeed because I was overloaded with emotions and conflict tensions that were inside of me. My interest was growing and I gradually managed to reach a state of meditation. After this, the Indian culture and philosophy fully captivated me. Everything started from classes that developed my body physically, and I knew nothing about the yoga philosophy. I just did the exercises on the mat and worked on my breathing. This gradually began to change my state of mind. And at some point, when I was practicing asanas, I left for Asia. I arrived there for a short time to spend the winter holidays there. At that time, I was studying at the institute, but I met people deeply involved in yoga. They practiced it not only physically, but they consciously learned the yoga philosophy and followed its principles. At that time, I felt that I wanted to immerse in this philosophy and in this lifestyle, so I made a decision to stay with them. It was my first trip. I stayed for 3 months in the jungle, near the ocean, to engage in yoga. This completely turned my life upside down. So that was when the idea to study to become a yoga teacher appeared. I chose the path of Ashtanga Yoga. It includes 8 steps of yoga that lead me to a more conscious lifestyle. I try to meditate and always be in the state of love for all people. And I chose the female direction that is called Fly Yoga. This is a very beautiful yoga style that not only harmonizes me inside, but also looks very aesthetic. There are a large number of different schools in Ukraine. Each school is beneficial in its own way. In short, there is no such thing as a bad or good school. Each one has its own specific system, and it's very important for its trainees to understand that the school provides certain knowledge that they should discover for themselves. Yoga is the holistic science. It is not only about body. Yoga is also not only a philosophy. I teach both therapeutic and hatha yoga. In my practice, there were wonderful teachers, such as Valentina Malinovska. She's a very wise woman.
Как менялся мой тренировочный процесс на пути йоги? Сначала
How has my training process changed on the path of yoga? I started from yoga classes with teachers 3 times a week. I learned the correct technique. Then, when I had got it, and when I learned more about the yoga philosophy, I noticed that the body position on the mat, asanas, is not the most important thing, and that a person who wants to engage in yoga should follow certain principles.
йогой, он должен следовать определенным принципам. Когда ты только начинаешь практиковать йогу,
When you start practicing yoga, you have to meet a teacher who will inspire you to practice.
вдохновить на практику. В моей жизни было
That was exactly my case. I met such people.
которые меня вдохновили на практику.
В моей практике я столкнулся с
In my practice, I faced the contradictions of my mind. The yoga philosophy wasn't clear for me. I'm actually not a religious person, and I could not understand why I needed to follow all these moral principles and why they were so important in practice. And only after several years, I understood it.
И только вот спустя годы я для себя это понял.
Самым сложным на пути йоги это было
The most difficult thing on the path of yoga was to calm the mind, because the mind is very restless. And in India, they compare the mind with a restless monkey that always jumps from one branch of a tree to another, and it is very difficult to focus on one object.
концентрацию и сконцентрировать свое внимание.
This was the most difficult part of the process, and this does not mean that I have found it. I still continue looking for this balance within myself every day.
Баланс внутри себя.
Вначале для меня был...
In the beginning, when there was rain, snow, or sun, it prevented me from attending yoga classes. It was a kind of a trial for my willpower, and I admit that sometimes I failed it. It was very difficult for me to start engaging in some activities on a regular basis.
Медитация
Meditation should take place in a clean place. Ideally, it should be in nature, where there are no people or animals that can distract you. You need some privacy.
для меня
I consider meditation as a state of mind.
состояние. То есть я
I constantly try to meditate. Gradually, the yoga practice teaches one to rely not on the outer space, but also on the inner space.
Есть такие центры,
There are such yoga centers all over the world. They practice a 10-day course of silence while being in an enclosed space,
пребывание в закрытом
without cell phones or books. The fact is that during this process, contacts with the outside world are forbidden.
нельзя общаться с внешним миром. Ты
You are immersed in meditation for 10 days.
в какой-то момент
At some period in my life, I visited many such meditation centers that helped me to find my inner self.
мне вернуться внутрь себя.
Медитация
Ideally, for me, one should meditate every day. A person either lives in meditation or lives without it. For me personally, meditation is a state when you are in love and nothing can upset you. You are in this state of mind at this moment, and you try to live in harmony with the whole world every second of your life.
ты просто пребываешь здесь и сейчас и
I was glad to meet you guys. So are we.
гармония со всем миром каждую секунду.
Друзья,
Dear friends, thank you for watching this program. May yoga give you health, happiness, and harmony. Meditate and improve yourself, and I think our world will become better.